Hey guys, I'm back with my third and final video in this series on Huguenot migration designed for GCSE History. And this time I'm going to be talking about significance. What was the impact of the Huguenots on England? What was their significance? Now, I've designed this video to really suit the AQA course. It will give you literally an essay plan to answer the significance question. So yeah, absolutely don't waste this opportunity to get these notes and to get this essay plan to help you. So for those of you that have watched my exam structure advice, you'll know that the way that I always recommend structuring this question is in 2 paragraphs, one on short-term significance and one on long-term significance. So I'm going to go through the short-term significance first. So what was the impact and significance of Huguenots coming to England? Well, for a start, it was financially detrimental to France. Many Huguenots had been very well educated, many were very talented, merchants and craftsmen, and actually led to a lack of workers in France itself, particularly skilled crafts such as weavers, hat making, the glass industry. Huguenots were so missed that they were actually offered money to return to France, of which many passed up the opportunity. They did not want to go back. In Britain itself, in the short term, the influx of Huguenots, particularly skilled and well-educated Huguenots, led to anti-Huguenot feeling in Britain. We might label this as xenophobia, the dislike of foreigners. They were often blamed for taking jobs. They were even called by an MP in Bristol the plague of Egypt, so likened to the plagues of Egypt. However, over time, they did contribute much to British life, and they were actually very well accepted as time went on. As I previously mentioned, they were highly skilled craftsmen. They revitalized watchmaking, gun making, bookbinding industries in Britain, and they also led to the creation of paper as an industry in Britain, but I'm going to talk about that in long-term significance. So, as I said, they started the paper making industry in Britain. Now, prior to this, paper had to be imported from France. So the fact that the Huguenots were able to bring over that intelligence, that talent, and start the industry was really, really helpful for Britain in terms of the economy and creating their own products without having to buy in the natural resources. By 1710, Britain had 200 paper mills and supplied 70% of the paper market. So that's a huge amount of jobs and financial benefit that's come from the migration of Huguenots. And we're obviously talking here hundreds of years later. British banknotes were printed by Huguenot businesses for over 250 years from 1712. So that's another industry, another significance, another impact they've had in terms of the economy. And as I said before, over time, Huguenots were able to assimilate into English culture, into British culture, and many of them chose to change their names to sound more English. And today we have around 3 million British people descended from Huguenots living in the country, one of which is Winston Churchill. Now, obviously, Winston Churchill, again, you could talk about the fact that he obviously had a huge impact on Britain, and he himself is descended from Huguenots. So therefore, if migration had not happened, perhaps he never would have come to England, and perhaps we never would have had him as our leader during the war. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If I were you, I would use these points absolutely precisely, and I would memorize all of this essay plan. That's what I always tell my students to do. Make these essay plans about significance, memorize them, and then you get to the exam. You don't have to sit there thinking and finding the points in your head. They're all here for you, laid out really clearly. This should help you get full marks, 8 out of 8 on your significance question, a grade 9. If this has been helpful, please do like and subscribe. If you comment saying this is the kind of video that's really helpful, I will know to try and focus on doing more of these essay plan type videos. If you want to work with me one-to-one, I offer private tutoring, and you can contact me via my website, which is in the description bar below. Yeah, till next time, guys.